So, having fixed that crack in the snout, that's actually in the plastic. That's a pretty good scuff. They ran this into something. Yeah, so not wanting to smash this nose cone into anything like a tree or bushes or whatever, I started digging through my hoard. Actually, before I looked through the hoard, I looked on the interwebs and I was checking out Craigslist and just kind of seeing what the designs were, what was optioned for these rigs. And there were these tubular bumpers that really stick out. They stick out quite far, and I didn't really want that. I didn't want something that stuck out that far for a couple of reasons. First of all, I think they look they look a little goofy when they're that far out. And secondly, I don't know, I've only got about that far to fit in the back of my truck, and it's got to fit in the back of my little white trucks with the tailgate up. So having the steel inventory that I do on hand, I started looking through and I grabbed the brackets that I think will work, popped a couple holes in them to go in some stock locations, and that's where those sit. And I wanted to make sure that it cleared the hood. So when you swing the hood forward, they clear the hood. And let me show you what I was going to do for the bumper. So that's the piece of steel that I settled upon to use as a front bumper. I had just about every diameter of tubing and or piping here that would kind of be the correct scale for this front bumper, and I just didn't like the look of the tube. And then I went with some square tubing. I didn't like the look of the square tubing because that just looked kind of generic, and then I'd have to, I don't know, I just didn't like that. And then I found this thing in the hoard, and this is perfect. It's already powder coated. I don't remember exactly what this is from. I suspect it's a bracket for like I don't know. Actually, I don't know what the hell it's from. I can't even sit here and figure it out, but it is powder coated, which is pretty cool. And my intention is to come back here, of course, measure it out, cut some slots, and be able to slip it right over here. And this is obviously sitting high, but I'm thinking that's going to be the face of that. It'll be perpendicular to the ground. It'll stick out about 50% of the way through the wheel, which is good, because then when you walk around this thing in the garage, you won't catch your clothes or your leg or something on it. And it seems extremely stout. I should be able to ram some trees. Hold on, let me see if I can get this. I should be able to ram some trees with this thing and not damage the nose cone, because fortunately it sticks out about 1.25 inches past the farthest most reaches of the nose cone. If anything, it'll also keep us from banging into it when it's in the garage up at El Rancho. Yeah, so let me do a little shrivel shroud, and if I'm super fresh and TIG weld it, which I think I'm going to do, I won't even have to paint it. Just touch up the little weld area, because that's powder coated and those brackets are powder coated, and I didn't have to do any damage on those brackets. So let me get a little something working here, and we'll be right back. You know, I've been told before that I overthink things. I have. But I look at it this way: if I do it right the first time, I take an extra minute or two to make sure, via this little stupid bullet level, that the bumper is going to be perpendicular to the ground and to the frame. I tack it in place, and then it's done. I don't know if it's so much that I give too much thought in the construction process, as I don't want to deal with the thought of looking at it down the road going, man, that's crooked, because my eye looks for stuff like that. My eye is screwed up. I look for imperfections, and I don't want to have to look at this bumper when it's sitting in the driveway and go, damn, that bumper's crooked. Yeah, so that's how it fits. It's just sitting there right now. It's not actually, this needs to come up a smudge, which means I need to put the level back on there. Yeah, I notched that. I slid the bracky in there. That's why I'm going to come back with the TIG welder. And then again, you know, do I need to TIG weld this? No, absolutely not. But I could use the practice. I could use the mask time, get behind the mask and play with the TIG welder. So I wanted to notch this nice and tight so I don't have to use much fill. And that's just holding on to there under its own friction. And I do like the way that looks. I had contemplated for a minute kicking these little ends out. That's like maybe 2 1/4 inches. I was going to kick back that a little bit, I think I'm gonna leave it flat. I'm gonna leave it alone. And then I do have these holes here. I don't know. Maybe I'll go out to my viewer suggestions. What do you think I should put there? I could put a plate there with like a D-ring. I don't know if that's really helpful. I'm gonna get a little schmutz off of that, but I'm not gonna fill those holes for right now. I'm gonna leave those be. I may always leave those be, but I don't know. Do I need something on there? Trailer hitch, maybe? A ball hitch? I know that my neighbor was just down here looking at this, shaking his head, and said, "Oh, you just put a ball hitch there." You know, or do I just leave the holes there, or do I put a D-ring there, or do I use one of the pieces of the table saw blade that I cut off for the battle axe and put a set of teeth here? Yeah, that'd be good. Shut up, bird. So that way when I'm walking in front of it, I'll tear my pantaloons or my skin on it every time. So good old Rusty was quite the help. I know I could have gotten away with the wire feed, but why? Why? Just going to show you guys before. There's the top. Before I covered in paint. So I'm not a welder. I don't claim to be a welder, and I barely even play one on the YouTube TV, but I really do like this TIG. This TIG machine's pretty damn cool. I wish I could spend more time playing with it. It did not affect the powder coating on the front here, so I'm not even going to paint that. I'm just going to get a little squirty on where the welds are, and let's install this beast. So that's where we ended up. A TIG welded, painted front bumper for a garden tractor. I did not feather out. You can see where the edge of the powder coating, because powder coating is relatively thick compared to paint, and I did not sand it out. I didn't feather it out. I just hit it with a wire brush and then wiped it down with a little rubbing alcohol to clean it up, and then squirted it with black paint because it's a bumper on a garden tractor. So I just need to know from you guys, what should I do with these holes? I left them alone. Should I make something, some kind of plate there? Should I make a spike so I can ram poachers? Maybe a big headlight on there, big cyclops. I don't know. How often do you mow the grass at dark, you know? But I think it's pretty stout. I think it'll work. I think I'm going to leave it straight just like that instead of kicking the edges in, breaking these corners. I think it looks fantastic. Fantastic. All right, I gotta run. Gotta go. See ya.